This is part 2 of how to plan an epic family road trip. My family of 4, 2 little kids, plus 1 old dog, and 2 fish, have done 8 cross-country road trips. And we've also done a ton of other road trips in regular cars, RVs, and camper vans. And along the way, I've learned a lot of tricks, to the point where I have planning a road trip down to a science. So here I'm going to tell you how I plan our days after I've planned our route. Now, if you haven't planned your route yet or don't know how to do that, go see my first video. I don't know how to link yet, so whatever. Go see the other video. I'll figure that out, about how to plan a route and find really awesome places to stay along your way. And now I'm going to tell you how I plan our day while we're on that route. There are 4 key tips to planning an awesome day while you're on a road trip. Number 1, most important, plan really cool places to stop. Interesting stops are way better than just stopping at a gas station or a fast food restaurant. Our kids enjoy it more, we enjoy it more, we all learn more, and there's a lot more laughter involved with these crazy stops. I have found that our family needs to stop at least every 2 hours to run around, burn some energy, stretch, just to make the road trip better. Now, I typically have 1 major stop per day, something really educational or really fun, and then I also try to pepper in other fun, kind of crazy, silly stops. So it can be everything from, we've stopped at an art museum along the way, we've stopped at the world's or a life-size Noah's Ark, we've done an alpine slide, we've stopped at the world's largest Superman statue. We've done all sorts of random things, and that's what makes the trip fun. Now, the trick is, how do you find those spots? How do you find the world's largest Superman statue or something crazy like that? To find those stops, I use 3 main resources. The first is an app and a website called Road Tripper. Now, Road Tripper is a great planning tool for planning a road trip. A lot of people use it to plan the whole road trip and the route. I still prefer Google Maps because I feel like it gives me more flexibility and the ability to really kind of drill in better, but Road Tripper has gotten so much better over the years, and it is a great one-stop resource. I, however, use it to plan fun stops along the way once I've finalized my route with Google Maps. So go there, and it has all sorts of attractions. It has outdoor activities, it has funny attractions, it's got all sorts of everything. So that's a great resource. The second resource that I use is an app and a website called Roadside America. And they have all sorts of just totally random things that are kind of fun to stop at. So interesting sculptures that you should see too. We found a highway that played a song when you drove over it. So random stuff. So that is a great resource as well. Now, the third resource that I use is Google. I just put in a Google search. So say in my last example, we were driving to the Cindy factory in Indiana, and that's in Fort Wayne. So I would just type in best places to stop between Atlanta and Fort Wayne, Indiana. And a lot of times you'll get great info. Usually it's from TripAdvisor, like forums that you can search through, but that's a great way to find cool places to stop as well. So number 1, plan your stops, ideally every 2 hours. That's what works for us. I think that really probably works for most people, but plan to have a cool stop every 2 hours. Number 2, equally important, if you drive by someplace cool and it's not in your plan, stop anyway. Stop and smell the roses, seize the opportunity. One of our all-time favorite stops was a place called Western World, I think. I need to verify that, but it was a blast. It was hilarious, and it was not something that I had planned. We stopped, So step 2 to planning an epic road trip, forget about the plan. I know it's ironic, but trust me on that. The third key point to planning your day is to have a strategy for how to spend your time while you're in the car. Okay, so there's lots of hours where you're just sitting there essentially doing nothing. So what are you gonna do? For us, it's important that we have family time together, that we're talking, that we're communicating, that we're laughing, that we're playing, that we're doing stuff together. And that doesn't happen if our kids' noses are buried in electronics. That said, Mom and Dad need a break sometimes. So what works for us is the kids know that they can watch one movie a day, plus they can do some educational stuff. So it used to be that we had little educational DVDs in our old car. Now that we're in the fancy schmancy new Lincoln, we have Wi-Fi so they can do some educational apps. But that's what works for us. Might not work for you, but that's what works for us. Everybody knows what we do, and so it's not a debate. That's our plan. So come up with a plan ahead of time. How we entertain our kids the rest of the time is totally dependent on their age. And so I feel like that's a whole nother video about that. But at the very least, have a strategy for how you're spending your time in the car. And my fourth and final tip to planning an amazing day while you're on your epic family vacation road trip is to write it all down. I use an app called Evernote, and I've created a simple form in it that I just kind of like fill in the blanks. You can use a Word document, use whatever works for you, but put all your information in one place. Trust me, your future self who's on this road trip will appreciate the organizational efforts that you put in on the front end. So I include everything like the rate that I'm supposed to be charged for the hotel or the hip camp or the glamping hub that I've booked, so I have it as a reference, and all of our confirmation numbers. I have things like, is breakfast included with that? I have notes for when we're traveling with a dog, what special things do I need to know when we get there? I also include all the information about our stops and any relevant historical information that I want to teach the kids while we're driving through an area, because I feel like those facts are so much more relevant and they absorb so much better when you're in the actual location. So all of that information I put into my form. I do one form per day for every day on our road trip. It's all in one place, easy to access, and it makes everything so much easier. So that's how I plan our days on our family road trip adventures. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below and I will do my best to answer them. If you'd like to see some of our road trips, you can check out our other videos on this channel. And if you like this, please like and subscribe. That would mean so much to us. And finally, if you want to see what we're up to right now and follow along in our crazy adventures, follow us on Instagram at the Boomershines. And one last thing, if you are inspired to take a road trip, please let us know. We love seeing what you guys are up to. So thank you for watching, and I hope you have an epic family road trip in your future. Bye. Real quick, get in here. Do you like road trips?
Yes.
What's your favorite thing we've ever done on a road trip?
Probably stop at amazing places.
What